recovery. Blue buff getting warded, so that way we can possibly go gank there and get an advantage. But not too much action going on. Garen having fun in the jungle. Looks like he's going to stand around there for a little bit. And Maokai is going to go ahead and drop a ward into that bush so they can't all sit there. Misfortune getting spotted moving up to the mid lane, but we still have no vision on the mid lane itself. All of purple team is in fact MIA, although another surrender vote does get started by Garen, even though they're only losing 6 to 15 and 6 towers. Well, 5 towers. Taric does get spotted, but it is to drop a stun on Maokai and immediately run away. Seems a little bit like baiting, but we'll see exactly what all's going on. Garen's gonna go play with Earth again, apparently. Standing around. Having some fun there. Maybe he found a book in the Oracle. He wants to test it out. Mid lane is getting pushed by all the enemy champions, and it looks like the mid lane gank is in fact going to go ahead and fall back. Possibly going to pull blue team out of position. Veigar defending the mid lane, but not having to do too much work at the moment, as he did drop an event horizon, and he is going to go ahead and pick up 2 minions with that 2-hit combo. Maokai barely edging in, getting hit by the Anivia stun and ultimate and E anyways, but tanking it, and looks like Blitzcrank and Taric are going to go ahead and fight. Ashe arrow does miss by a hair, and that could be the deciding factor in this little team fight poke overall. Garen's trying to come back to the base. We'll see exactly what all he can do, as these 4 champions in the mid lane are pretty much just stuck on their tower. Garen does successfully get back to the mid lane, but let's see as this team fight progresses. And looks like all the enemy champions are in fact in that bush. That was warded a split second ago. Maokai does W in, and it does look like that will in fact get the entire team killed. Not sure what that Maokai was thinking there, but we'll have to see later on. Renekton and Garen saying they keep getting stunned, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Maokai saying that Kennen does in fact stun, so we'll keep an eye on that. Taric is saying my bad brah for stunning Renekton. Ashe throwing down her volley, taking out Blitzcrank's bubble, and it does look like Anivia was trying to dive Veigar, but not successful, although Ashe did overextend and get hit by Taric's stun and grab, and gets immediately picked off by the enemy team. Although it does look like Veigar's meteor does in fact almost kill Misfortune, but no cigar. Meanwhile, the mid inhibitor turret has in fact been destroyed, and another surrender vote is getting thrown down by Garen, who's chilling at the store. So he's trying to find that ancient tome that's going to let him through. Renekton can't really take on those 3 champions by himself, so he's letting him take the inhibitor. And Maokai apparently teleported up to the top lane to backdoor, well, or push, I guess, for people who want to be strict on the definition of backdoor, that top lane. And Anivia showing her face at low health. It looks like Maokai is going to go ahead and engage while team fight's going on down here. And egg was popped, so we'll see if Maokai can in fact DP. Yes, Anivia. Fight going down, and it does look like Anivia will go ahead and throw down a wall and a Q and run. Meanwhile, nothing too much getting done down in the blue base aside from losing their mid inhibitor. Poking back and forth, Taric and Blitzcrank running away from the Veigar Renekton Ashe combo. And Maokai is going to go ahead and recall. Garen is saying that this is his first game at 30, and apparently what you do when it's your first game as 30 is glitch, because low replay is bugged, and now my camera is auto-locked. Nope, now it's back. All I had to hear was a random ding-ding. Team fight going on in mid while Garen is dancing at the Nexus Tower. And Renekton is going to go ahead and get picked off by the double AoE circles of death. And so it looks like it is going to go ahead and be a 2-for-1 special, sacrificing Kennen for Ashe and Renekton despite a bunch of the team being low. Veigar does throw down Mwah, as he was apparently having fun doing that. Garen trying to do his ritual dance to revive Earth, as that apparently is the intent of this game. Minions stacking up at the Nexus and slowly leaving, having fun doing that. And Maokai and Veigar still fighting off the minions in the mid lane, as that is the theme of this game. Now, Garen, being the gatekeeper, waving his sword around in the bottom lane as part of his elaborate ritual to bring Earth back from the dead. Sapling in that bottom bush, trying to prevent mid lane from getting ganked, as all are in fact MIA. And it does look like Maokai is going to go ahead and go for the jungle, while Veigar takes care of the minions in the bottom lane. Maokai coming down to assist or not, as Veigar is overextended, as there is no tower for him to fall back to and no players to help him save Ashe, who has recently moved up. And it looks like she's going to go ahead and attack the minions with Frost Shot on, although she did just turn it off and not throw down a volley whatsoever. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Blitzcrank and Taric, the main tanks of their team, pushing up to the mid lane that actually has no tower to help defend. So Maokai is going to go ahead and fall back. Garen is pushing that top lane, trying to fight off that snowballed wave, and all 5 champions are spotted in the mid lane, and they're just going to push right up to the Nexus towers. Misfortune attacking away, Maokai Wing in to try and punish for that. Maokai's ultimate does get thrown up, but Ashe gets killed instantly by the enemy team, and it does look like 5v4. 2 champions on the blue team instantly die, making this a 5v2. Renekton getting stunned on the Nexus tower, which means he's fairly okay, as he is tanky with his ultimate up. Kennen trying to get him with his E ability, that electric charge, but no cigar. And Garen and Veigar left to defend, although Garen's going to be... Nope, he's coming in. Trying to take out Blitzcrank as the mouse does scroll again, and he does go ahead and get picked off 4v1 as Veigar was backing off. Renekton is having fun running around trying to fight off, but he does get Taric stunned, and now he can't do anything as Kennen is going to go ahead and throw down another stun right there. And Anivia throwing down her ultimate, trying to pick off Renekton, but no cigar. Anivia herself getting really low, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and take down another inhibitor, although bottom inhibitor tower and turret is still up. Veigar is zoning a little bit with his Event Horizon, but not too successful. Maokai trying to fight off the minions that have pushed all the way to the Nexus tower from the top lane that has been pushing this entire game, and minions in the bottom lane are pushing that bottom tower by themselves, as the mid and top minions were holding off the bottom minions as well. Meanwhile, blue team's champions does go ahead and clean that up. Purple team peeking around, just poking in and saying hi, and then immediately leaving. Taric is going to go ahead and finally vacate blue base, and Blitzcrank is in fact spotted recalling, and Anivia saying your tank fails so badly, Ashe saying you guys are so overfed, Maokai dotting, and not too much to say aside from reading the chat as Garen's trying to fight off the mid lane, and Veigar actually flashes in to Event Horizon Taric. Not too sure what exactly is Veigar's plan here, as one of his escapes did in fact get thrown. But it does look like he is going to go ahead and get away with Garen and Renekton and Maokai holding on to the lane. Ashe in the bottom lane defending. Mid lane inhibitor has respawned, and it does look like Kennen will just pop his hourglass and deal a lot of damage with his electric charges. Renekton is going to go ahead and chase Taric, although Taric is going to go ahead and just turn around and maybe kill Veigar. Nope, Veigar does go ahead and get his Event Horizon off, but Kennen and Blitzcrank are coming into the fight. Maokai at low health, Ashe missing her arrow as it goes right behind Kennen, and all 3 enemy champions are going to go ahead and pick off the tank yet again. Meanwhile, Garen, standing around and auto-attacking the exact same spot for a while, is going to go ahead and get picked off. And Renekton and Ashe are going to go ahead and fall back to try to fend off the super minions that did in fact sneak their way through from the top lane. And now the inhibitor is going to go ahead and get brought down by the purple team as they have fun with it. Ashe trying to poke a little bit, staying back and staying safe, trying not to feed kills. Garen getting called the MVP and the carry for purple team. Ashe trying to bring down Taric's health, not doing too well at it. And Veigar just sort of trying to get some more last hits in. Meanwhile, purple team is going to go ahead and start bringing down the third and final inhibitor for blue team. Although it looks like a Nexus tower is going to go ahead and attack Anivia in her egg, and looks like Anivia will get picked off. Although Blitzcrank is tanking those Nexus towers very easily. Although it looks like a little bit too much focus going on right there, and Blitzcrank will go ahead and get away with his W. Meanwhile, Kennen does throw his ultimate, although Blitzcrank pulls Renekton and then pops him up, and Renekton somehow gets stunned. So He doesn't get Blitzcrank, and now Misfortune has decided to show her face. We'll see exactly what all's going on there. Misfortune does throw down her ultimate, but doesn't look like anyone's low enough to affect it, although Blitzcrank does go ahead and grab Renekton. It looks like Maokai will, in fact, still get Taric. Misfortune trying to run away, and it looks like no, she will not escape. Blitzcrank will, in fact, get away, though. So, meanwhile, minions are pushing those towers on the Nexus, and they do go ahead and successfully kill one of the main towers. Garen, ignoring those super minions, going to go ahead and take out the auto-attacking minions in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, I'm going to telly back, as apparently Maokai is going to go ahead and backdoor, or maybe solo Dragon. He's going to go ahead and try soloing Dragon, as all of the enemy towers are in fact at high health, or not been touched. Although Garen is having fun securing the bottom lane, he's not going to go ahead and move to that middle lane. And two super minions are going to go ahead and push from top. Nope, Garen's going to go ahead and fight the super minions, so pretty much just dealing with minions at the moment. Keeping an eye on Maokai as he is trying to solo Dragon with merely, I believe, a Rod of Ages, a Bubble, and Work Treads. So, very odd build, but does look like he might be able to do it. Although Anivia has shown up with her ultimate, Maokai is in fact out of range. Maokai trying to teleport out, but Kennen does go ahead and pick him off with a Q. Renekton trying to fight off the minions in the mid lane. Garen saying I wasn't paying attention. And Veigar taking out the super minions on the Nexus. Not too much blue team can do. Looks like this is in fact the end of the game. Ashe trying to DPS that super minion, but taking health hits like a boss. And Taric is going to go ahead and drop his stun on top of Ashe, although somehow still not, well, damage. Take damage from the tower. That's interesting. Meanwhile, both Nexus towers are down. Kennen is going for Veigar. It looks like his health is low. Renekton is low also. They're trying to heal up, but no, it's too late. And in fact, the game ends. So, Garen MVP didn't really show off too much of what Garen could do. Got totally distracted in the team fights, but second ranked game, fairly interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is Observious, signing off.